Tiger the Tabby saying grasses. That's just a shout, lad. What was the grassing on, mate? That's what I'm saying. You probably call your brother in grass for telling your ma you're smoking weed upstairs, didn't you, lad? Hey? Instead of just knowing you're in the wrong. Your kid brother was in the right telling your ma you're smoking drugs upstairs, but you're calling him a grass. I mean, people getting your lives banned. I know what you meant, Tiger, lad. But because they get me live banned doesn't mean the grasses, does it? Just out and out haters, mate. It's a bit of a bad shout off Waddy. Sometimes you got to be a grass to find the snakes. That's a mad shout from you, fella. I reckon you need something for the head, lad. Suck on that. Hopefully it'll sort you from thinking out. Listen, you've got to understand the difference in the dynamics. If you're legal and you're legit and you've never broke a law in your life and you're mad and everything's sweet as... You shouldn't even be using words like that. That shouldn't even be coming out of your vocabulary. Do you understand? If someone's kicking your door, robbing your car, attacking your daughter, attacking your business, you are well within your rights to seek help off the authorities. Now, if your son is a gangster, and them gangsters are chasing your son down and shooting your house up, and are terrifying your little daughter because your son's a bit of a cunt and he's not listened to you for years, you are well within your right to seek help from the authorities. But the consequences for you doing so are completely different than the consequences for them doing so. Why? Because you live smack bang amongst them all. It's the only difference, isn't it? So now you can't get on the phone to the authorities when that drug dealing group from the top of the street is kicking your door in trying to get your son with machetes. You can't be that grass, can you? It's the way it is, you know. The people that encourage no grassing are grassing. In fact, you ask anyone that's willing to speak the truth about the criminal underworld and they will tell you straight up facts. If they're not snitching now, they have snitched in the past. Simple as that. Most of these kids that's going into the gang life, the gang world now, all these little drill kids off your streets, they're the next level of gangsters in your city. All these little groups you see running around on the surrounds with the things, they're going to be 30 soon, 35s. These are going to be the organised crime groups of your city. Have you seen them? Kip of them. You just know the abuse the generation under them lot are going to be getting, don't you? The risk to them, how many people go out committing crimes for this shower of... How are you, Joe? Woody saying Jaguar right words. Tiger the Tabby. Yeah, I'm sound, you know, Joe, mate. Gonna be going in a minute though, 2-hour stream it is. Nice chilled one. Yeah, I can feel myself putting some weight on. Which is meant actually, I need a few layers of fat, you know, for the winter. Like I've just been sitting at what? 9% body fat, 10% body fat, in that range. And now it's winter, you need like, I should be in the 18 to 21% body fat. And that protects all your bones, you know, from the harsh winter conditions. Your bones, your organs and all that. Keeps you warm. I normally let all my hair grow, but what I've noticed, when I start letting my hair grow on my body again. So for years, you know, because I was a very early kid, when I was in jail, when I was in a cell, the hair just kept on coming off. And you'd have hair in your bed and hair here and there, and you'd be hot and sweaty. So I just started shaving everything off, you know, as a hygienic thing for prison, because the sheets were dirty and all this mad stuff. And I've just kept, nice one Jojo for them 100 GGs, so I've just kept it up. And what I've noticed is now, when I don't do it, I start getting depressed. I start getting insecure with myself when I'm letting my hair grow back on my chest and all my legs and all that. So I'm gonna shave it all off. It's like a new lease of life. Feel fresh as fuck. Get back out there, get back on it. That's what it's like a little reset. Who's going to win that USA election, mate? You're on the ball with most things. It's already won, mate. It's already won. You can see the way. Look who they've put out there to challenge Trump. Look who they've put out there to challenge Trump. She's going to win it. You can just look at Trump and then look at Harris and go straight away, difference. Completely different. You can tell this is just a bullshitter. But she's going to win. That's why Biden and all them aren't really panicking. Yeah, they're sending Obama out, little race thing and all this, but if Trump gets in, the minute he wins that election, Biden's going to strike Iran. That's my thoughts. That's all I'm focused on over there at the moment. When are they going to strike Iran? Because normally what they do is they'll attack these militant groups, you know, unarm them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So normally when they attack these groups, there'd be civilians killed, but the main objective is to weaken their defences, make them less of a threat, which is basically unharm them. I don't mean unarm them physically, I mean take the firearms off them. That's normally the case. Now, it's past that stage. It's not about unarming anything. The levelling land out. This is a massive, massive land grab. And this land grab's going into Palestine, Lebanon, and it's going to carry on. It's going to go further. Wherever that trail of terrorism take these, they're going there. And once they've done enough damage to Hamas, which they have, to Hezbollah, which they have, the Houthis, the Americans are targeting now, and they're going to end up doing enough damage to completely disable them and their attempt to intervene in any attack on Iran. So what you're witnessing now is them three places, them three groups that I've just said, they're basically militant groups of Iran. And Iran has been funding these three groups to target certain things and keep things at bay. And every time it goes off, these groups will come in and stop it from escalating into a mad war. The powers that be that have been on Iran's case for 20 years now, more, I've understood, hang on, let's just work on, because this what they're doing now, this isn't just popped up on the back of the 7th. You know, this has been in motion for years, this. They just had to bring it forward because of what happened on the 7th. It was coming either way. You could tell the way they had the pages in the country for a year before anything had even kicked in. You know, they had all power-based using communication devices that they'd placed in the system a year before. Do you understand? So it's, well, they're on the ball, they know exactly what they're doing. They're going to weaken Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, to the point where they can't do nothing to defend Iran. Once these 3 groups are disabled, Iran is getting targeted, mates. Especially now with the reserves of oil and the reserves of minerals and gold and all that Iran's got, you know. With what Russia's doing now with Syria, China, the world affairs, it's going off its barnet, mate. Some of you will understand what I'm saying, some of you won't. We are European. It's what they're making us. The Western world is becoming European. They don't want no England, they don't want no Wales, they don't want no Scotland, no Ireland. They want Europe. So when you go into Google, or if you go into anywhere, when you look at UK, if you're outside the world and you search up Britain, England, UK, it'll have underneath it Europe. Because we're European, we've already been labelled. That's what they're making us all European. They don't want Caucasian white people. They don't want black African people. They don't want Pakistani Asian people. Do you understand? They want it all mixed race. All of us. All diluted races into the European race. So every child that's born in the Western world in the next, say, 40 years down the line will be of mixed race. That's the way they want it. Yes, apps, Woody D, one world order. But they can't get that one world order unless they've got one religion. And they've always used Christianity, but they know Christianity has lost its stronghold. And they're looking at the religion that came later. Why did it come later? Well, regardless, it came later. And in today's day and age, the religion that's got the most control is Islam. You know, you look at Christianity in Great Britain, there's no control there. You don't see hundreds of people attending church every Sunday morning no more. But you look at every mosque up and down the country, you see them getting filled up at 3 o'clock every afternoon, 2 o'clock every afternoon, 1 o'clock every Friday afternoon. Don't you? Right? So it's in the powers that be's interest. The more people that are practicing Islam, the better the control they will have down the line. So the more people that revert and convert to Islam, the more people they will be able to control easier. Why? Because like they do with every community, they've got the ability and the know-how to place certain individuals who are iconic into positions of influence. So, for example, MI5, MI6 Special Branch could recruit an imam that's been born and raised in Birmingham. They can, over a few years, develop him, get him onto social media, get him out there, have him saying the right things, have him screaming the right things about the government, anti-establishment, stuff like this. This kid, this imam, will gather a huge, massive following of Muslim lads. Anything this imam says, all his following obliges by it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So it's in the powers that be's interests to have, whether you like it or not, an Islamic world. And as I say, it's all hypothetically speaking here. You know, I've got a broad mind and I like to think out the box about certain situations and certain things. So you've just heard me speaking there and you've become offended. You know, we weren't ripping into your sexuality. There's absolutely no reason for you to become offended. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? No agenda here, mate. And with Darren G, everything goes with Darren G. That's what this account calls. I'll just be getting anyone in the boxes. Get in here, tell me what you're saying. What's your opinion on this? Woody D, can never happen. Too many people don't want to live like that. Western world is so far from theirs, says Maras. And who are you to say it will never happen? It will never happen. Who the f*** you think you are, lad? If they want something to happen, it doesn't matter how much resistance comes their way. It's happening. As I've been saying over the weeks, mate, go with the flow. Just because you're going with the flow doesn't mean you're a part of the flow. It's like if I call you a fart, it doesn't mean you're like this, does it? No. You wreck my child's life, says never you mind. I wrecked your ma's life as well, never mind your child's, girl. The amount of times I stoved your bed in, Steve Jones. You'll never know, lad, will you? Absolutely throttled your ma, mate. Got her to feed her off and everything. Think I'll have a few goals in my game. Get on a little bit of plunder. What are your thoughts on the October the 7th attacks? Atrocious, mate, aren't they? Women and children, doesn't matter where the women and children are from, in the whole wide world, whether it's Israel, Palestine, Sudan, Yemen, Britain, Ireland, women and children should be protected at all costs, lads. Where they targeted innocent civilians at a pop concert, regardless of what and who target what. I'm not part of no side, whether it's them or these. Right in the middle of all that, you have got women and children being slaughtered. Name it in. To me, they're both evil. To me, they're both wrong. To me, they're both going against the Lord's wishes. You do not sporadically go round and slaughter women and children, mate. It doesn't happen. You've got Moros saying only one target civilians. Is it? I've seen easy tens of thousands of civilians being murdered in Palestine. I've seen tens of thousands of civilians being murdered in Syria. Tens of thousands of people being murdered in Iraq. Tens of thousands of civilians being murdered in Afghanistan. Tens of thousands of people being murdered in Egypt. Or was it Egypt? Libya, sorry. You know, these are all civilians. These are all young kids getting up in the morning, trying to go to school, getting educated with the mothers, being obliterated. No war is good war, mate. No war in this world is good for us. As I say, mate, what would you do if you had Israeli forces on in this country now, kicking your doors in? Simple. What would you do if you had Hamas in this country now, kicking your door in? Exactly the same, isn't it? You wouldn't treat neither any different, would you? You need to bring it back home and understand. Yes, Carolina Cav, you need to bring it back home and understand, you know, there's no good there. Doesn't matter what side you're looking at. Doesn't matter who's standing on the higher moral ground or whatever. It's just not right when you're witnessing women and children being essayed, decapitated, abused, dragged round like cattle on both sides. It doesn't matter what happened. It does matter what happened on the 7th, but it also matters what happened on every date before the 7th. Right through it, right through the decades, you've had women and children slaughtered on both sides. They haven't stopped it. They've continued it. Look at that now. That's been a year, that. Every day, women and children being murdered for over a year solid. This is just in one place, by the way. This is without Tony Blair saying, yeah, let's just kill 2 million people in Iraq because we believe they've got bombs, even though we know it was a lie. It makes all the same firm. I think what you've learned is the people that you've always assumed run the world do run the world, whether you like it or not. Doesn't matter what faith you practice, doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, doesn't matter what industry you are in. The people that you've always led to believe run this world do run this world, and they are Jewish, whether you like that or not. At the moment, in this entire world, there is only one powerful country, and it's Israel. Whether you like that or not. There is not another single power base in the whole country or whole world on the globe that can tell Israel to stop what they're doing now or face consequences. Not one of them. And that's just the truth, bold facts of every conflict you're looking at right now. No one can say or do it to Israel. I established that years ago when I was a kid. Why? Because I was looking at that thinking, how is every single country around Israel being bombed to bits, but Israel is not getting touched? Trust me, mate. Why are they so powerful? Because they run the world, mate. They run the financial infrastructure and every branch that comes off it. And it doesn't matter. So, it is what it is. You don't need to go into all them avenues. You've just got a certain type of people, a certain race of human beings that have locked the whole world down before anyone else. And they've become that powerful, no one can take it off them. The banking system, most of the gold, most of the minerals, most of the slaves around the world right now are controlled by Israel. And this is all fact, mate, and if you can't, this is without reading books. This is just in your face. You don't need to be a historian to work this out, lad. So now, in places like in India, you have got black African people being sold for £400. This is what's happening in India right now. You have got black African lads being sold for £400 as slaves and being worked into the ground, and if they don't, they get them whipped, tied to chairs, tortured. Fact. It's out there. Same in Libya. It's mad, mate. The whole world's fucked that. Yes, Joe? Would you saying the Pope is powerful? That's why. The Pope's a sellout. He's never been a man of Christ. The church hasn't for long. The Pope, the Vatican and all that they're not Christ, them lah. They've used Christ as a tool, as a way of keeping him under control and that. Christ is a consciousness, mate. And every one of you are able to tap into it. You've just got to believe in it. If you start believing in the consciousness of Christ, you'll light up in consciousness. And up there it'll be recognised. And this consciousness of Christ will connect to your consciousness. And it'll guide you. It'll have you believing. It'll give you purpose in life. And when it's your time when it's time for your soul to leave your body, your energy, your spirit to leave your body, your consciousness to leave your body, your consciousness will adapt to the way you've been believing through your life, which will be the consciousness of Christ. If you're practicing and believing in satanic and witchcraft and all this, you're thinking in a certain way, your conscious level is connected to a different consciousness from Christ. So when it's time for your soul, your spirit, your energy to leave your body, your consciousness will connect to the way you've been thinking and the way you've been conducting yourself in life. And if it's been all the horrible paganism, all the satanic music, the fornication, all that nasty shite that you're participating in, you'll burn in the hottest in there. Whereas if you practice your ways through the practices of Christ, family, woman, man, create life, guide, provide. Do you understand? It's all you've got to do when you're thinking about Christ. Love thy neighbour. Simple rules, and you will have a better afterlife, basically. Honest. That's a mild way of explaining it to you, mate. You can go extreme from loads of different angles to get the point across. But basically, this is how it is. Just like you've got two paths in life, you've got two consciousnesses. You've got your good and your bad. You've got the consciousness of devil and you've got the consciousness of Christ. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And it's within both of you. It's entirely up to you what way you choose. You know, you've heard the theory, haven't you? You've got the good angel on here and you've got the bad angel on there, and it's definitely right. You know, you've got heaven and earth on your shoulders, mate. And depending on what way you turn your cheek, depending on what way your life can go, mate, trust me. On what one you're listening to will depend on how your life turns out. If you're listening to the devil all your life, guess what your life's going to be? If you're listening to the angel, the good angel all your life, guess what? Yeah, your life's going to be good, isn't it? What does the devil want to do? He wants to attack your spirit. How does he attack your spirit? He lowers your defences. How does he do that? Encourages you to take substances. Encourages you to take alcohol. Encourages you to take all these mad little things that you're experimenting in your teenage years. This weakens the strength of your mind and lets these evil spirits penetrate the mind. And once they're in your mind, you know, we start attracting to that satanic, the music you're listening to, the way you're treating your bed in the bedroom. It's gone from making love to being in a porn movie. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's not the way to be. Francis Cobain, I fell asleep last night. You was chatting some good stuff. Got to churches, but I fell asleep. Alcohol is the worst. That's why they call it spirits. sometimes you've got to detach yourself from your spirit. You know, you've got to reset. You've got to chase them away and bring them back, and a drink will do that. So every blue moon, if I wanted to, I can go and get pissed. And I mean pissed, I don't mean legless. I mean have a few drinks, get a little bit happy, and then get off. You know, detach yourself from reality for that little hour, 2 hours. I don't mean stupefy yourself. I don't mean put yourself in comatose mind, piss, can't even get yourself home. I mean, you know, out of the ordinary. You don't go drinking normally, but society's doing your head in at the moment, so you need to detach yourself from it. Go and have a drink. A few Jack Daniels and Coke. Not 10, not 20, 3 or 4, where you're in that little happy mood, and then get off. Again, it's all about your urges, not to go back, not to enjoy that feeling that you want to do that every night. Because then you're letting the bad spirits in and gripping you. Basically what you're doing is, I'll have some Jack Daniels and Coke, and it'll detach me spirits that's been developing in me for a while. They'll go missing. It'll leave a little window open for new spirits to kick in. It's like you're developing a whole new spirit. You don't end up in the kitchen. Yes, Jimmy, chatting on the Coke. Alright, it has. Sound, you know that. Just having an open conversation about anything. It mightn't make sense. It's not meant to. If it doesn't make sense to you, mate, it's not meant to. If it does, it's meant to. Blah, blah. Jimmy Tough, man. Being up too much, bro. Just training. Winter's in it, lad. Early nights, late mornings. Boss. Can't wait, actually. New account, is it? Yeah? No. Just another account. Gotta keep you all guessing, haven't I? Anyway, people, it's gone past your sell-by date. So I'm going to take you off the shelf, put you in the bargain shelf, alright? Peace out, L5 shout. Keep it real as always, protect the children, protect the future.